I miss my childhood. I'm only 21, and I already miss it. I already wish I could go back and be a kid again. Recently, I've been going through a lot of different memories that I've had as a kid, especially the fond memories that I made with a lot of friends, doing the things that I loved, like making movies. My brother and I used to use the little cameras we got for Christmas and pretend we were playing Call of Duty. And as a kid, I would use my dad's iPhone to just make whatever with iMovie and just make a movie. It didn't really matter as long as I was making something and I had fun doing it, which I always did. Sometimes I miss that, and I was thinking about how when we become adults, we tend to forget about a lot of the things that made being a child so fun. And I realized that we don't really need to stop doing those things. You know, life doesn't have to just automatically become meaningless the second we become an adult. Like, you don't just have to turn into a gray blob of sadness and emptiness the second you turn 18. There's a lot of things you could do now as an adult that could bring back that kind of magic that your childhood has. One thing that I like to do a lot is to slow down and stop for a second and just look at the things around me. Like, I'm just staring at these clouds right now. They're just so beautiful. And I just have to think that clouds are one of the favorite things, like one of my favorite things ever. And I think that when we're adults, we kind of get lost in this rat race. You know, you gotta work, you gotta go to class, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And sometimes you're in a rush and you forget to stop and absorb the world around you and kind of just sit and remember how beautiful everything is. And I think that's a very easy thing that we can work on as adults, is to walk a little bit slower and look in other directions than straight forward. Another thing that I like to do a lot that's become a habit of mine is turning meaningless little things into games.
Welcome to First Person Pool Party.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
You can really make a game out of everything. And I think that that's something that kids do a lot, that a lot of people stop doing as they get older. Lastly, this one is a little bit different than the other two, but I think you should dance just a little bit. I don't mean that you have to boogie down to everything that you ever hear, but I think that moving just a little bit when you hear a rhythm or a song that you like, it sounds so insignificant, but it's something that makes a huge difference for me in my life. Audrey and I dance all the time to like everything, and it just makes life a little bit more fun, you know, especially when it happens in public. If we're at a grocery store and we hear a song we like and we both start boogieing down, it's always a highlight of the day, and it's always a fun memory to have. Just dancing is just fun. I don't know. You don't have to be good at it. Just doing it is fun. The act of dancing is fun, especially with people you like. Childhood is not something we can truly ever go back and relive. And it's something that I think most people will take for granted while they're children, because that's what kids do. They take everything for granted. But I don't think that has to mean that the rest of your life is just misery and regret and wishing you could go back. Because, like I said, you don't have to lose everything about being a kid as an adult. So those are just some little tips that I thought of that might help bring a little bit of joy back to your life. So if you listen to all this, thank you. I appreciate it. Who knows when I'll make another video again? Not me. Alright, bye.